Former federal prosecutor Joe Moreno joins me. Joe, obviously a big decision this weekend. Well, not really, I don't think, for Hunter Biden's whether to testify. And it's his decision. It's not the lawyer's decision. It's his decision. I never liked putting defendants on the witness stand.
Yeah, I mean, he has such a checkered history, and the images and the text messages from that laptop are so incriminating. I can't imagine he wants to sit on the stand and have to answer them one by one. Was this you? What are you doing? Is that a firearm in your hand? Is that a crack pipe in your mouth? So I got to think, they speak for themselves so badly. I can't imagine he wants to get up there and have to elaborate.
Except for one thing. Is that if you've ever been around alcoholics or drug addicts, they're sort of the last to know. I mean, everybody else knows that they are. And the whole idea is whether he knowingly did it. And I mean, it's a stretch when you look at all the texts. I mean, it's pretty, it's pretty bad when you look at the text, when you listen to the testimony, when you look at the pictures, when you listen to him in his book. I mean, everything is like it almost everybody else knows. But Hunter Biden, that he's a drug addict at or about the time that he bought the gun.
Well, I mean, that might help if it's talking about alcohol, where 2 or 3 drinks is okay, but 6 or 7 drinks is not. And at what point, when do you reach that threshold of being an alcoholic? With drugs, it's sort of, I mean, it's one or the other. Either you use crack or you don't.
Well, I guess that's right. It's not being addicted, it's using.
Well, right. And the
it's
form
using,
says, are you an addict or using illegal substances?
So you don't have to be addicted. You don't have to be addicted
right.
to drugs. Using is enough.
So he can play games with the word addict and whether he thought he was an addict or not, or whether he used it that morning or the day before or the week before. But, look, this form has been around for a long time. Look, Abby Lowell is his defense counsel. He's a very good lawyer. So I'm sure he's going to do everything he can, and that'll include trying to poke holes in the form itself. I don't know how successful that's going to be. And here's what I think. I mean, look, I'll say the opposite of what Professor Dershowitz said a few minutes ago about the Trump trial, that it was a foregone conclusion in Manhattan. It might be the reverse here in Wilmington. It might be that no matter how strong the prosecution's case is, the Biden royalty factor, they're a big name in a small state, that might be what Hunter is relying on, is basically jury nullification, that he'll get the sympathy vote and, basically one juror will let him off.
Think about what it was like for his daughter. I mean, she's 30 years old, having to get on the stand. Look, he's a drug addict. He cheated on her mother. His girlfriend at a time was his dead brother's wife. I mean, it's like the most sordid, story you could think of. And how tough for that kid. Well, she's not a kid; she's 30, but she is a kid.
It's a terrible story. But remember, Hunter Biden was given the most sweet of sweetheart deals last summer, and he got greedy and he lost that deal. And he chose to go to trial. So whether it's embarrassing now to his kids, his wife, his ex-wives, his father, that's his choice. And so I have to think that he could have pled to this. He probably did not like the idea of any jail time, and therefore he turned it down. But, look, it's a defendant's right to go on trial, absolutely. But he had a long time to think about this. And so the embarrassment now, I mean, now you can't avoid it.
Well, he inflicted it on his family.
Yeah.
Without any doubt, inflicted on his family. The next case coming up, is the tax case, the federal tax case. And I think that's a much tougher case because so many Americans pay their taxes every day. And he was just burning through money and not paying taxes, if you believe the evidence, of the allegations at least. And all the other Americans, he was a Yale law school graduate and you couldn't have a bigger privileged life than he can, even with his personal weakness and the money thing. I think that's a bigger problem for him.
He's being accused of underpaying $1.4 million in federal taxes. Most Americans...
And it would be further if the statute of limitations went back further. He actually gets off easy on that.
That's if David Weiss hadn't slow-walked this case. Absolutely right. He let the statute lapse on years before 2018, which would have been worse. But most Americans won't owe $1.4 million in taxes across an entire lifetime.
They won't even pay it. They won't
owe it or pay it. There's just so much money to have. How much income you have to make to owe $1.4 million in tax in 3 years? That's an immense amount of money. So I don't know how much. I can see the sympathy vote on the drug case.
Me too, but not on the tax case. Tax case.
And look, his dad is so tough on millionaires and billionaires, right? And paying.
Well, he's
on
gun control too. For that matter too.
Well, he's tough on guns too. So I think the tax case is actually much more serious. Hunter might walk on jury nullification on this drug case. The one in California, I don't know. That's going to be a real uphill battle.
Joe Moreno, thank you.
Thanks, Greta.